Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Socially Numb Podcast. I am your host, Richie Leahy. The Socially Numb Podcast is going to be a podcast where I talk about current trends and different things that are trending in social media, not related to all social media, some news, hopefully not politics, but I'm going to get into different tech. I have a background in computer science, and I work directly with the web, so I see a lot of different technologies and see how they're used as they're coming out, different cutting-edge techniques and things like that, which might help an average professional in their career, or even just little things to play around with and try at home. Today, with the first podcast, we're just going to focus on one topic. The topic, it's not really so much of a trend right now. It is the gas crisis in the southeastern part of the United States. There is a pipeline that runs from Texas to the East Coast. Now, this pipeline had a leak in it over the weekend or sometime last week. It hasn't been covered by the news as much as I would have hoped because of how big of a deal it is in the southeastern part of the United States. I live in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, and we have already seen some of the ill effects of this gas leak. So what happened is the pipeline that delivers all of the gas from Texas to the East Coast started a leak. They shut down this pipeline, which inadvertently had a bunch of different gas pumps run out of gas. So this pipeline carries gas directly from Texas to the East Coast. Now that it has a leak, they had to shut it down. That means that all the states that are connected to this pipeline no longer have gas. We're hit here in North Carolina. Virginia's hit. They said it could go all the way up to Maryland. The other states along the pipeline, Georgia, Alabama, they're all out of gas. I believe the leak happened in Alabama, but I do know that on Saturday, which today is Monday, September 19th, so on Saturday, September 17th, they had a couple pumps run out of gas in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. I saw some alerts, not on the actual local news or even the national news. I saw them on social media, and that's one of the key reasons why someone might want to be on social media, because you're going to get news from your neighbors and things like that isn't necessarily covered by the national media. So we have a bunch of people reporting that they can't get gas. There are long gas lines, and there might be a spike in gas. The governor of North Carolina actually came out and said that they are going to put a state of emergency on gas prices in hopes to limit it so that the gas prices don't start to drive out of control. They said that the pipeline might not be fixed for another week or so, and that's sort of a bummer because if certain pumps are already out of gas, we are totally dependent on gas to get to work, especially the area where I live. People are commuting 20, 30 minutes a day. If you don't have a hybrid, or even if you weren't aware, I know I wasn't going to get gas over the weekend, and I probably wouldn't have had enough gas to make it through a week of work. But because I saw it on social media, I was able to go out and get some gas, and hopefully they can get the pipeline fixed. Now, they're not going to be able to fix the original pipeline. I read they said that they are going to have to do a diversion to kind of reconnect the pipe somewhere along the line, but they don't have a timetable on how long it's going to take to actually get that put together. So that is the social media trend for the week. Typically, we're going to have episodes that are a bit longer and cover a couple different topics, but since this is the first episode, just to try to get the gear and everything set up correctly, we're going to stick to one topic and get things rolling next week. So we're going to have a podcast come out each week that's going to cover social media trends and any breaking tech news. The Socially Numb podcast is going to take me on rants of current topics. Could be current events, anything from sports, technology, news, breaking news, any headlines, music, movies, basically anything that I see trending in social media for the week. I try to record one over the weekend. We'll do a reflection of each week, and then the podcast will launch early the next week, so that you can get a head start on what happened last week, maybe a look into what is going to happen or may happen the following week, especially if there are going to be other events that happen in the future or around time. So come on back. The podcast will be hosted at sociallynumb.com. You can go there to get a live read-in, read different articles. I will post references and facts to different articles and news sources based on what I am talking about for the current week. So thank you for listening, and come back next week for some insight into the trends around the world. Thank you.